Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network, based in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Are there cameras in this studio? Am I being punked? I have to be being punked right now. Is this MTV? It really has to be. I'll get to what I'm talking about in just a second as it relates to a tweet that came from the mayor of New York City just a few hours ago. Apparently, all it takes is throwing one egg at a Muslim and you'll get a reaction from the mayor of New York City. But if you attack an entire Jewish community, de nada. He says nothing. I have to be being punked. There has to be cameras in here somewhere. Is MTV here, guys? I really want to know. We'll get to that in just a second. 800-848-9222. We'll also get to the LIRR strike. What's going to happen in just a matter of hours if you plan on commuting from Long Island to New York City? Tonight, the National Mediation Board has summoned the LIRR union leaders and the MTA management to a meeting to resume bargaining. And caught on camera, that Idaho air show, the horror air show, after two jets crashed in front of frightened spectators. Wow. And Republican Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy loses his primary after President Trump intervened to oust him. Cassidy, of course, voted to convict Trump in Trump's impeachment trial. So tonight the president is saying, how do you like me now? But I kid you not, folks. I have to be being punked. I can't believe this. I cannot believe the blatant behavior and disrespect of the mayor of New York City, Mamdani. An egg gets the Muslim mayor to speak up. But when apparently Muslims attack Jewish school children and the Jewish community that protest just recently near the synagogue in Brooklyn, not a word from the mayor. So the mayor, I kid you not, folks, I thought I was being punked. I said, this can't be accurate. So I literally spent time, just a short time ago, going to Mamdani's Twitter feed to make sure that somebody wasn't pulling my leg. And sure enough, there is the tweet from the mayor of New York City, in which it reads just a few hours ago, literally, the mayor of New York City says, and I am quoting, I am aware of the disturbing incident targeting worshipers during Friday's prayers outside a mosque in Brooklyn, where a man praying was struck with an egg. That hateful act, the mayor goes on, is unacceptable and an affront to the values that define us as New Yorkers. You know, I don't want to say something that's going to get me in trouble. When have Muslim prayers ever been part of defining us as New Yorkers? He goes on to say, my administration is committed to rooting out anti-Muslim hate in all of its form and ensuring every New Yorker can live and worship in safety and dignity. The NYPD Hate Crime Task Force is investigating this incident. So how do you know, Mr. Mayor, that they're investigating? You know how you know, because you ordered the police department to investigate it. You literally ordered the police department to investigate an egg being thrown at a Muslim man praying, which is not right. But what about the Jewish kids that were beat up last week? What about the Jewish community under attack near the synagogue? You said peep, nothing. And now one egg at one Muslim man, and you've got everything to say. 800-848-9222. But that's not all. That's not it. And I'm coming to the strike in just a few minutes. That's not all. That's not it on this Sunday night. City Councilwoman Ina Vernikov put on Twitter, and I've been thinking about this all weekend. This is her tweet that's sort of in line with what I just mentioned. And she says, this isn't, and she capitalizes this, an all-girls Jewish school in my district. The councilwoman goes on to say, I'm all for prayer and free speech. But why do a bunch of, and then she capitalizes this, grown men need to do this right outside a school full of little Jewish girls? Is not this what mosques are for? Is this intentional? Mayor Mamdani, any words of wisdom on why all of a sudden they feel compelled to do this? And so what is the councilwoman talking about? I have never seen something as despicable in my life. You literally see in the video the rugs on the floor outside, and they're praying near the window of an all-girl Jewish high school. And there are reports that some of the men were peeping in the windows. Now, why would you pray right outside an all-girl Jewish school? Why would you do that? I want somebody to explain to me, why do they pray outside, and why is that legal? Why is it tolerated? I don't get it. But on Twitter, as it relates to what's going on outside this all-girls Jewish school, like 12 grown men standing on the sidewalk with you see the carpet, the rugs where they pray, right outside a Jewish school. Now, why would you be so disrespectful to do that outside a Jewish school? This is part of the outrage that's being expressed in the Brooklyn community.
This is the front of the Jewish school, high school. Do you see what's happening here? Because there's no mosque in the area to do this in front of. You have to do it in front of a Jewish school. Nice, right?
So, folks, don't you see what's going on? Mamdani is giving all of these folks a full green light to do whatever they want to do. And City Hall has your back. 800-848-9222. I'm coming back to that and the anti-Semitism. For the life of me, I can't understand why a group of grown men would want to do their prayer on the sidewalk of a female Jewish high school. Why would you do that? And do the peeping Tom thing, looking in the window? Are you looking into the girls' locker room? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And why would City Hall tolerate this? 800-848-9222. What type of day are we going to have in just a few hours with the morning commute, with the strike? You've got Hochul blaming Trump. Trump firing back, blaming Hochul. Blakeman blaming Hochul. Bottom line, strike situation. This is the Republican nominee for Governor Bruce Blakeman, Nassau County executive, talking about the strike.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Right now, standing with my man again, Bruce Blakeman. He's running for governor of New York State, and I have some serious questions to ask him right now. I know you just left the picket line for Long Island Railroad. If you was governor, what would have you done different to avoid this unnecessary strike?
Well, we would have had a deal by now, because Kathy Hochul, instead of spending it on our workers and spending on repairing our train stations and giving better equipment, she has spent the money on illegal migrants, $8 billion over the last 3 years, and she's not spending the money where it's supposed to be spent, on New Yorkers.
Now, in her statement that she released today, I believe, she said if she gives them the rates, the fares will go up 8%. And not only that, she said the taxes on Long Islanders will go up. Now, you are known for lowering the taxes on Long Island. How do you feel about that statement?
Well, first of all, as I said, she's spending $8 billion on illegal migrants. This is a drop in the bucket. And by the way, she'll probably raise fares anyway, so I'm not buying that. Look, we got to start spending money on New Yorkers, and we don't have a revenue problem in New York State. We've got a spending problem. Where is all the money going to the MTA? It's not going to the workers. It's not going to repair the train stations. It's not going to repair the subways. What is she spending all the money on? And by the way, she's got an incompetent guy, a pompous ass, as the leader of the MTA, Jano Lieber, doesn't know what he's doing, talks a good game, but delivers nothing for the commuters.
Now, she blamed this strike on President Trump. And Trump responded by the people of New York should elect Bruce Blakeman as governor. How do you feel about her blaming Trump for this strike?
Well, I think she blamed Trump for the bubonic plague. She blames everything on Trump. And here's the thing. Donald Trump didn't make this the most overtaxed state in America. Donald Trump didn't make our electric costs 70% higher than the national average. Donald Trump didn't make us number 41 out of 50 states in economic development. And Donald Trump had nothing to do with this strike. It was purely her lack of leadership. She has no management skills, and she waited to the last minute to try and get a deal done. She promised the union leaders a bunch of things, and she didn't deliver. She's not trustworthy, and that's why we're in the mess that we're in now. As governor, that'll all change. Everybody will be happy under Bruce Blakeman. Right now, they're miserable under Kathy Hochul. The end is near. We'll get it done.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the morning commute. More than 300,000 people come in from Long Island, and now the trains are not running. It's going to be very interesting. So we'll get to Louisiana. Senator Bill Cassidy, Republican, who voted to convict President Trump following his 2021 impeachment trial, and payback can be tough. The president campaigned for one of Cassidy's rivals. Cassidy didn't even make the runoff. He is done now, thanks to President Trump. 800-848-9222. Let's start with some of your telephone calls. Ron, line 2, Hempstead, Long Island. Good evening, Ron. What's on your mind?
I just want to know, I'm not racist, but I just want to know, does our mayor know the difference between an egg and a snowball? They're both white.
So what are you trying to say here?
Well, he just calls everybody else out, the Muslim, like anything for the Muslim community, he calls out, and anything against any other community,
correct.
He just is always against them. Always
correct.
Against them from day one. You never hear about it. He doesn't talk about it. Yet all of a sudden something happens to his community, and all of a sudden we're all New Yorkers.
It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. Ron, help me out, Ron. I really believed tonight that I was being punked, that the mayor did not issue a statement over one Muslim praying hit with an egg, and you're vowing that the hate crime. First of all, how do you know it's a hate crime, Mr. Mayor? How can you make that leap? For the police department, Mr. Mayor, you're supposed to be independent from the police department. You don't know if it's a hate crime. How do you assign a hate crime right away? Sounds like a hate crime, but you don't know for sure. And so one Muslim hit with an egg is the end of the world, but an entire community, Jewish community, under attack, the mayor says peep. What does that say to you, Ron?
Well, right now, the Muslim community has the card of playing the victimhood, and that's all they
Agreed.
get. They get to play it all the time.
Agreed. I agree with you 1,000%. 1,000%. Thank you for the call, Ron. Let's go to John, line 3 in White Plains. Good evening on this Sunday night, John. What's on your mind?
Those 12 Muslim men, they were doing their prayers in front of that Jewish school to instill fear and dominance over the Jewish community. And it needs to stop now. And there should be, and I understand the NYPD not doing their job because they're afraid of losing their job, but there should be a boss, a sergeant, a lieutenant, or a captain, a precinct commander that should have sent some cops out there to remove that at least 500 feet from the school. And
I agree with you, John, but herein lies the problem. Any captain or up that did something like that, you're going to have to answer to Mamdani privately.
Absolutely. And they should have the guts to do that, and someone should stand up. And that's coming from an old school cop. Back in my day on the NYPD, it wouldn't be tolerated. And nobody would say boo. They would be removed away from that school for safety purposes. This is a disgrace. It's an embarrassment. And this mayor should be held accountable for not doing anything.
So, John, help me out here, right? These are high school girls, right? These are grown men standing right outside the window praying. I mean, if this doesn't meet the definition of inappropriate, first of all, where did this praying come from on the streets of New York City? I don't get it. Why do they get special privileges that basically nobody else? Well, other communities get the right to let me stand corrected, to hold a prayer. But I mean, it's like we're bending over backwards now. And I'm sorry for the Muslim community to be able to have prayers whenever they feel like it.
We have a Muslim mayor, and his wife hates the Jewish community, and that's been proven. And so does he. And they look in the windows to disrupt the classroom, to instill fear in these people. And they're, 13-year-old girls? 14-year-old girls, of course.
Or let's say they're 17. What if they're in the locker room in their bra and underwear, undergarments, changing for gym? And you got these grown men looking in the window.
Well, that's true. I don't think there would be an outdoor window into a locker room. If there is, they should change that.
We would hope not, right?
Right. They should change that right away. But I'm telling you that this has to stop because they're going to take over. They're going to take over every community in this city with their prayers. And they're going to instill their fear and their religious beliefs. And the Intifada is real. And people have to wake up to that. They just have to wake up to the fact that they're taking over.
Hey, John, just help me out with this, and then I'll move on. So I'm not saying that it's right. One Muslim man apparently gets hit with an egg while he's praying, and that justifies the full weight of the hate crimes unit of the NYPD, but yet you have an entire Jewish community under attack, and the mayor says nothing.
Only on the orders of Mamdani. That's the only reason that the hate crimes unit got involved. They would never have gotten involved in that. It would have been a simple ROR, summons, go to court, and work it out. Now it's a big issue because they're flexing their muscles and they're just trying to make a point, and it has to stop. This police department, this new police department, I feel bad for them. I couldn't do the job nowadays. I could not. I'd be the one going to jail if I was still a cop. I would be the one in jail. I feel bad for them. And I have a son in Seattle that's on the police department out there, and their hands are tied also.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Oh, absolutely. And it's disgusting, disgraceful. And I dare you to find a cop right now, a retired cop at least, that's not pissed off at what's going on right now.
I can't believe this. If this is not throwing this in our face, I don't know what is. The mayor is saying he's saying, I don't care what you think. My people come first now. That's what he's saying. He
stuck his middle finger up to the rich and Mr. Griffin. He's sticking his middle finger up to the Jews, okay, and to the middle class, to the rich. He doesn't care. He has an agenda. He has a mission, and he's going to accomplish that mission as long as we allow him to. And that's the problem in New York City and New York State.
So, John, I got one last question for you. So he's a man of the people, the Muslim mayor. So why keep his police detail? Why have a detail for his wife? Why do these things?
That's the way it's always been. The mayor has always had a police detail. And I'll tell you what, he's doing this stuff inside Gracie Mansion, too, which is a disgrace.
Definitely is.
It's got to stop. And as long as you have the Democrats in control and a governor in New York State that's afraid of this guy because she wants to retain power, it's going to continue. It's not going to stop. And I hope Trump, I get my pension from the city, but I hope he stops certain funding to the city to try and squeeze Mamdani out. And he wasn't elected on a mandate. You know that. He was not elected on a mandate.
Of course not.
Very few people voted. Cuomo would have won if Curtis wasn't in there. But it is what it is, and now something has to be done. And these people in New York City and the city council, Miss Palladino, and she has to, and she is. She steps forward and she says her piece, but she has no authority, no power. She's the minority, and it's a scary situation.
Right. Well, she's one of only 7, 8 Republicans, 5 or 6, whatever. Hey, John, thank you for the wonderful call. Dominic Carter here with you, folks. We see all your calls. 800-848-9222. Joe, line 4, New Jersey on this Sunday night. Joe, what's on your mind?
Dominic, this incident at the Jewish school, it's a classic case of give them an inch, they take the foot. Give them the foot, they take the yard. Give them the yard, they take the whole damn football field.
Agreed.
The critics of ICE better take notice as to what's going on in New York, because it's coming to a city near you. If you don't do something about it, start supporting ICE. These outsiders that come into our country, they don't care about the country. They care about their country, where they came from, and they think they're going to turn America into their country. Now, that's another thing about that incident. Where are the Catholics, the Episcopalians, the Lutherans, the Protestants in support of the Jewish community? That's what's going on with that Muslim community.
Joe, I got to move on because I got to take a break. But let me tell you what the part of the problem is with that. In these different religious communities, many of these churches have daycare centers, which are funded completely by the city of New York, including the meal program. So if you stand up and go against City Hall, poof, there goes the funding for your daycare center. That's been a quiet way that City Hall has kept many communities in check for years over control of their daycare centers, the funding, and the meals for the kids. Thank you for the call, Joe. We see all the other calls. I've got to take a break on this Sunday night. Dominic Carter here with you. We are coming right back.
Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Very Hawks baseball.
Tuesday, May 19th at 10:30 a.m., it's morning baseball. Wednesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m., have a pawsome time at Bark in the Park. Thursday, May 21st at 6:30, it's Pride Night with $5 Bud or Bud Light draft beer. Individual game tickets start at just $12.
Visit VeryHawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Here's a little tune to help you remember. Same drive, different day. Don't you wish you were getting away? Pack your bags and come on through. Texas, Ohio, Alaska, we're up there too. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Well, I hope you like my little song. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You know, on Friday evening, I'm thinking about the show for Sunday night. And I said, okay, we've got this video of these grown Muslim men praying on the side of a Jewish girls' school. Grown men praying outside, literally on the same sidewalk as the Jewish school. So you mean to tell me that's the only place that you can pray? And Mayor Mamdani, where are you to put your people in check? I said it. Where are you to put your people in check? Oh, I know. They have free reign. There is no check. They do what they want to do. This is Mamdani's New York. Your wife, your father, anti-Semitic, and more, it's increasingly becoming clear that perhaps you might be exactly the same way, though you hide yours quite well because you're the mayor of New York. But if you don't believe me, folks, and we're going to get to Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana losing in just a moment. Trump said, you're done. And sure enough, he was done. Then explain this to me. If you don't believe that Mamdani is flexing and sending his people messages, one egg apparently is thrown at a Muslim man praying. Just a few hours ago, Mamdani issued a statement on this. One Muslim man, uno, an egg thrown at him. It's not right. But who are you to say the hate crimes NYPD is investigating? That's an independent body from you. Yes, the police commissioner reports to you. But how dare you issue a statement tonight that the hate crimes department of the NYPD is investigating for one man, an egg thrown at him while he's praying? Well, Mayor Mamdani, how do you know he didn't have a beef with somebody and the person just happened to throw an egg at the individual? How do you know it's a hate crime? How can you make that assumption? But yet you let your people pray, grown men, outside a Brooklyn Jewish girls' high school. Grown men. Young girls, highly inappropriate. We see all your telephone calls. We're going to get to all of them from Ohio to New Jersey to Staten Island on this Sunday night. President Trump showed Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy who's in charge. Cassidy voted to impeach Trump. Trump got payback as the Republican senator lost his primary. In fact, he didn't even make it until the runoff. This from MS Now.
It's official. NBC News has now declared that the second spot in the June 27th Republican Senate runoff in Louisiana will go to State Treasurer John Fleming. So the runoff now is set. Congresswoman Julia Letlow, State Treasurer John Fleming, and that means that Senator Bill Cassidy, two-term Republican incumbent senator who voted to convict Donald Trump in his second impeachment trial in January of 2021, has been defeated. He will be denied renomination, and he will become the first sitting Republican senator, elected Republican senator since 2012, to lose a primary, to be denied renomination by his party. Again, Letlow clearly leading here tonight. Fleming, though, now safely, securely in second place here. Cassidy in third. The runoff set for June 27th.
So, runoff without Cassidy. Bottom line. So if Mamdani does not get this situation under control, perhaps he doesn't want it under control, you're going to see more and more and more of this mushroom up all over the city of New York. Case in point, hundreds of Islamists gathered just blocks away from Ground Zero in New York City, waving Hezbollah and Hamas flags and calling for mass acts of terrorism.
So we are not here begging you to recognize our humanity from the same powers enabling genocide. We are here to organize, to resist, and to win liberation, in the words of Malcolm X, by any means necessary. From Gaza to Jerusalem, from Nablus to Jenin, from Al-Quds to Jaffa and Haifa and Akka, and from the river to the sea, yes, we mean every single inch of Palestine will be free. And we do not mince words here. Yes, that also means necessarily that the state of Israel and that Zionism must be abolished. I do not and will never recognize Israel's so-called right to exist. It has no right to exist.
Wow. Normally I wouldn't play that, but it's important that you hear what's being said. So Mamdani doesn't issue a statement about that, but he issues a statement about one Muslim man praying and being hit with an egg. The mayor of New York City issuing a statement on that after the week that we had last week where the Jewish community came under attack. And he says nothing. Let's go to Tom. Line 1, New Jersey. Good evening, Tom. What's on your mind?
Good evening. This may seem a little radical. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I think other people will agree. When he got voted in, he had zero intentions of doing anything right. What I feel is what he's doing, and no one is stopping him. All we're doing is sitting back talking about it. I feel deep down what he wants to do is take over New York City, and nobody is doing anything about it but talking about it. And it's and I'm sure that he would love to have a big flag with his face on it all over New York, because this is what he's doing. He's taking over. He's clearing it out for his own agenda, for his own people. I hope it doesn't happen, but it looks like it's going in that direction. There's so much more I can say about this, but that's it in a nutshell. He's clearing it out.
When you say clearing it out, Tom,
clearing New York City out, clearing people, businesses, billionaires. He's clearing it out. He's getting everything out that he doesn't want, and he's
so
doing
then who's
nothing.
going to pay the bills? Who's going to pay the bills then?
I don't know, but it looks like it's going in this direction very slowly.
Thank you.
Like I said, it seems like a radical idea, but it's,
I hear you, Tom. Thank you. Thank you for the call. So Tom mentioned businesses and so on. So one restaurant owner, Stratus Morfogen, is criticizing Mamdani for hurting New York City's restaurant scene.
Surrounded by these socialist people around him, he's never run a small business. He doesn't know how to run a small business. He never created a private sector job. And when you surround yourself by these socialists around him, they could care. This is the last thing on their mind of trying to support small business.
You have 100 restaurants in your...
my 40-year career, much more.
But in New York City, how many?
In New York City, I have, with franchise, we have 5 restaurants.
And you wanted outdoor eating in some of them.
Yeah, yes. So this is about Diner 24 on Gramercy. I prepaid everything in January. The season starts April. Yeah. And now we're going close to June, and I still don't have my permit. And it's just bombarded with red tape. This thing shouldn't take more than a week or two. And I'm funny. So last night at 10:30, I got a text from Mark Levine. I got to congratulate him. He's texting me and said, listen, I hear you.
He's the controller of the city.
He's the controller of New York City. He's the one who polices Mamdani. I don't want to say the wrong word, Mamdani, and he polices the DOT. He says, I hear you loud and clear. I read the article today. We are going to investigate the mayor's office with the lawmakers who created this and the DOT.
Good.
And I was like, you know what? I so much appreciate that, because all we do as small business owners is look for some support from government, and we get nothing.
All right. While we're on the subject of Mamdani, what do you think of his tax proposal on housing in the city?
I think it's horrible. I've owned a home here for many years. I don't know if I want to upgrade. I don't know if I want to sell. I mean, this is like another taxation without representation.
And so, Bill Maher has his HBO show, and he dedicated the end of his show to throwing his own party under the bus for defending every minority group except Jews. 800-848-9222. Dominic Carter here with you on this Sunday night. Let's go to Elena, Teaneck, New Jersey, line 3. Elena, good evening. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Dominic. Dominic, I wanted to share this thought. An immigrant in any country is a guest in someone's house, someone's country. And they should abide by the style and the rules of that household or that country. Now, if the cultural background of that immigrant is in opposites to the people or the house that they are visiting, they will become aggressive because they don't want to follow the rules of the place where they are guests. So what happens is, if the cultural background of the people is herd style, aggressive style, warlike style, they will behave the same way as a guest. And we're seeing that in very many immigrants. Whereas years past, immigrants had etiquette and they adjusted to the style of the country that they were visiting, America. Now, there's also a modern factor that is coming into effect, and that is mental illness or the inability to adjust. And we're seeing both. We're seeing people who are homeless because they do have mental illness. They're immigrants, then they become canker sores on our culture because of their mental illness or their cultural inabilities to follow the rules of this country. And this event by the girls' school was a perfect example of a cultural canker sore. They aggressively behave the way they would back home. That's all I wanted to share.
But you know what? You know what, Elena, though? I got to be honest with you. It's almost like spitting in the face of the Jewish community. It's also something like sexual. Why are you outside a girls' Jewish high school praying?
Because they would do that back home too. And they don't change their behavior in the house that they came to visit America.
Okay, so explain this to me. Mamdani doesn't issue a statement about that, but you're going to issue or the Jewish kids, the Jewish community that was attacked last week near the synagogue, but you're going to issue a statement about one Muslim man hit with an egg while praying?
Well, Dominic, when you put a suit and tie on a gentleman, it doesn't make him a gentleman. It just makes him a man.
That's true. That is indeed true.
And he is a guest in our house, in our country. So he follows the same problem everybody else does, regardless of what they're wearing.
Well, Elena, thank you for the telephone call. Dominic Carter here with you folks. Let's go on this Sunday night. We see all of your calls. We're trying to get to them. Let's go to Joe, line 1, Port Jefferson. Joe, good evening. What's on your mind?
Hello, baby. First of all, I'm Joan, Joan.
Oh, Joan. Okay, it says here Joe. I apologize, Joan.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
Listen, you know what? I scroll on Instagram, and today I'm seeing that there are protests in Paris and Germany and Sweden, and they are all in an uprising. They're revolting because they are being invaded, and their culture is being overtaken and destroyed by invaders, just like New York City. And my question is, who is behind paying the power of Mamdani? Because you know what? It cannot be Americans. Where is this funding and power coming from? It's not coming from us, because we are being invaded. And you know what? We have a 25-year anniversary coming up on 9/11. And it's so disgusting that we have a Muslim sitting over New York City when we're going to celebrate, or actually commemorate, the sadness of 9/11.
Joan, I hear you. You know, I really started the show this evening believing that MTV was punking me tonight with the stories, the way they've worked out. I mean, Mamdani is telling us every single day what he thinks about us or what he doesn't think about us in terms of a priority. Joan, thank you for the call. Folks, it is time for a break. We are coming right back.
WABC. Now, here's Dominic Carter.
Nice to be with you, Dominic.
It gets better. You need to talk to Dominic Carter on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Let's go to line 3, Donna in Ohio. Donna, good evening. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Dominic, what has happened to New Yorkers? I used to know New Yorkers that were tough. They had huevos. They would never put up with a weasel like this mayor that they've got. Now, I know I'm calling from Ohio. Okay, maybe I don't have a skin in this game, but I listen to you guys every single night, and it's whine, 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 whine. I have a solution. All right. First, you got to fight fire with fire. You take a group of Catholics, pray the rosary in front of a mosque, okay? Just go to the mosque and start praying the rosary. And then, if you really want to really get these guys, maybe park a food truck, a hot dog, a pork hot dog, ribs, whatever, food truck in front of Mamdani's house, and park it in front of the mosque. And you know what? Just fight fire with fire. You know, you're gonna put up with that. Don't put up with it. Just do something. Just do something to counteract it.
Well, you know, Donna, normally I wouldn't agree with extreme measures like that. But
I don't don't see how it's extreme, Dominic. You know?
Okay, well,
I just don't get it.
To put pork near a mosque or near the mayor, that would be offensive, but to them. But what I was going to say is something has to give here, because Mamdani, he's stating, I don't care what you think. I got control of the city. I got somebody to help me get elected mayor, another candidate. And now that I got control, I'm going to ride this into the ground. And he's not playing. He knew that people like me, by issuing a statement tonight about one man being hit with an egg while praying, you issue a statement about that, but you have nothing to say about Jewish kids being attacked last week and how the people were treated at the protests. He knew that that independent reporters would pick up on this. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
But, like I said, you just don't put up with this, New Yorkers. Come on, do something. Do something. And if it's going to have to be a little bit more extreme, don't you think that those men outside that Jewish girls' school is extreme? Of course it is.
Of course it is. And I don't care what anybody says. It's sexual in nature as well. I don't care what anybody says.
Why? It's egregious. But you can't put up with it. Don't put up with it. You're just going to have to do things. I don't really believe that, maybe the food truck with the pork is a little bit offensive, yes. But you know what? Praying the rosary outside a mosque is not.
You're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
Okay? So you know correct. What? You want to do something like that? Do something like. What's he going to say? What's he going to say? You can't pray the rosary outside. In some of these communities, they want to blast Allah Akbar. The prayer call.
Right.
Well, you know what? Start. Church bells. Lots of them. You gotta do something, and I'm so tired of just this is gonna happen. We're gonna lose this. We're gonna lose New York. We're gonna blah. Don't lose it. Take it back. Take it back. Fight. I know New Yorkers do. They used to be able to do that. Okay, New Yorkers would fight at a ball game. Okay. Well, I mean, what the heck? What's going on with you guys?
Maybe it's a different generation. People are sitting around. I'm waiting on my free items from Mamdani. I hear you. Oh. Thank you, Donna, for the great call. Let's go to Gracie in California, line 1. Gracie, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind is this. The problem is the white people are wishy-washy. The other groups, the black groups, and the black citizens of New York City and the Hispanic citizens of New York City, their leaders better wake up, because once they're finished with knocking out the Jews, they're going to go after the black people and the Hispanic people. So you leaders that are pimps, you're going to lose your authority. So you better mobilize like that woman. Boy, I'm ready to join her. They better mobilize their groups to fight this. And what she said with the rosary is right. But the Catholics are wishy-washy, all right? I'm not going to go into this and that with the Pope. That's how I feel about that. Because Mamdani, the Muslims are not going to start with the Jews. The Jews have always been the easiest target. So that's why they started with them. Okay. The next thing, what those Muslim men is doing is an absolute disgrace. Of course it's sexual. Did we forget October 7th when they took the women and they raped them, then gang raped them, then gang raped them?
You're right. Hey, Gracie, I have to step in because I have to hit a break.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And Houston, we've got a problem. Good morning. Dominic Carter here with you and folks around the country. I'm sure you know by now that New York City has a socialist mayor who happens to be a Muslim American, the first one for New York City. And what's happening in New York City these days are utterly disgusting. One community is being pitted against another. Communities are being divided, and it's being done by the mayor of New York City. So what am I talking about? The mayor of New York City, Mamdani, to bring you up around the country, up to speed on what's going on. A few hours ago, the mayor of New York issued a statement as it relates to an egg being thrown at a Muslim man that was praying. And that's wrong. And the mayor issued a statement stating that it's wrong, condemning it, and stating that the NYPD Hate Crimes Division is investigating. Well, one, Mr. Mayor, how do you know that it's a hate crime? It may appear to be a hate crime, but it hasn't been investigated yet. So you can't just order the Hate Crimes Division to take this on because you think that it's a hate crime because it involves a Muslim man. That's the victim. And so you pit that against the Jewish children that were attacked last week, the Jewish community at a protest near a synagogue, and it got very ugly. Police involved, got violent. Mayor Mamdani said nothing, but one Muslim man attacked with the egg while praying, and it's the end of the world for Mamdani. So we're dealing with that. And again, if you're listening on a station from around the country, we've got big transportation problems in just a matter of hours here in New York City. There's a strike, and the National Mediation Board has summoned the LIRR union leaders and the MTA, which is the Metropolitan Transportation Authority management, to a meeting to resume bargaining. So we have a strike where more than 300,000 people that commute daily from Long Island, New York, into New York City. How are they going to get to work in the morning? There are buses set up, but that's just not going to cut it. And Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy loses his primary after President Trump intervened to oust him. Cassidy voted to convict Trump in an impeachment trial. So Trump doesn't have control of the party, huh? I don't think so. But let's get to the divide, the anti-Semitism in New York City. And folks, it's ugly, it's bitter, and it seems like City Hall is fueling this by what they respond to, what they don't respond to. I want you to listen to a little bit here. Bill Maher on his HBO show, destroying, if you will, the anti-American and anti-Israel crowd in just a short period of time here. And this is a consistent beat that Bill Maher has been on.
Jew hatred isn't just acceptable now, it's cool. Celebrities love it and make it trendy. It's the new Che Guevara t-shirt. The Islamophobia is just as bad argument is simply a false equivalency. Can you name a Jewish professor who talks about Muslims the way they get talked about? No. Anti-Jewish crimes, hate crimes, now outpace anti-Muslim hate crimes 9-1. It's not a contest, and I'm certainly not saying do more of the other. I'm just saying these are the numbers, the facts, the reality. There is a frothing anxiousness for the literal extermination of this one group. And Democrats, where are you? If any other minority group was being talked about this way, you'd break out the kente cloth and have 10 benefit concerts. But because you see that so many of your brainwashed by TikTok constituents now have an unfavorable view of Israel, you indulge them when you should be correcting them. You don't tell your woke idiots Israel isn't a colonizer or an apartheid state or committing genocide, and that if you brats had to spend a week anywhere in the Middle East other than Israel, you would understand what liberalism is not. All the people likely running for president now on the Democratic side want it known they don't take money from AIPAC, the Israeli lobby, a stance which gives permission to actual anti-Semites to say, see, we're right about Israel. That's a dirty money.
And so that's Bill Maher on his program. We see all your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's go to Nancy, line 1, New Jersey. Good morning, Nancy. What's on your mind?
Good morning. Good morning. I want to tell you that I think that all the people in New York who are being so timid and so netty and so stupid that they allow themselves to be treated this way, doesn't matter if they're Jewish or not, because he's going to have to suffer for it. We see from our history that no Jew is allowed to be punished like this for no reason. Anyone who attacked the Jewish nation over history has been destroyed. He's going to be destroyed. He's not going to make it. I don't think so. And if the people have any brain in their head, they will vote him out and they will demonstrate. And the word offensive that you use, that's the word you should be doing. You should be very, very offensive to him. He deserves it. He begs for it. He's more offensive than we can even imagine. He has only just begun. I see in history that he thinks he's going to repeat it. Well, he will repeat it because he's going to be one of the people that are going to be destroyed. The Muslims are going to be destroyed. Not right now, but they will be. They'll have their upcomings. They're going to get it. So I just want you to know that even though it's disgusting and he's obnoxious, the people of New York should gather together and stand outside his house, his mansion, with his sweet little wife, and let them see how much they don't like him. Maybe he'll be a little bit better, but I don't think so. He's on a mission. His mission is to destroy the Jews and to make our city the most awful city in the world. That's what I have to say.
I hear you, Nancy. Thank you for the call. Let me just say this, though, folks. I'm not cool with broad brushing an entire group. So I don't want to see an entire group of Muslims destroyed. Okay, that's not what I'm about. What I'm about is Mamdani has got to be checked because he is telling you every single day he don't care about you. All he cares about is the Muslim community. Why else would you let a group of grown men in Brooklyn, New York, pray outside a Jewish all-girls high school? Why would you do that, Mamdani? But yet you're going to issue a statement because your little feelings are hurt because one Muslim man was hit with an egg while praying, one, and that warrants a statement from the mayor of New York City, but not a group of your pals praying in front of an all-girls Jewish school? That doesn't warrant a statement? Or how about the Jewish girl last week where they yanked her hair and almost yanked it out of her scalp? And she was disoriented trying to get away from the crowd attacking her. Or how about the Jewish community near the synagogue that came under attack from those animal protesters, your pals? Or how about the Hezbollah protesters, the protesters that walked through Jewish communities like they owned the communities? You said nothing. But one Muslim man gets hit with an egg while praying, and you want to sick the NYPD and issue a statement from the mayor. You ought to be ashamed of yourself and that person that got you elected, Mr. 7%. Notice he has nothing, 7%, to say about anything that Mamdani does. I'm not going to focus on him. Those of you that are in New York, you know exactly who I'm talking about when I say 7%. He's the one that threw the race to Mamdani. Let's go to line 2. Benny in Bayside. Good morning, Benny. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning, Dominic. For years now, I almost feel like the Democrats, it's almost like not an experiment, but they're pulling that rubber band back slowly and slowly. How far can we pull this rubber band back? If October 7th happened in the 80s or 90s, the Israelis there would be a lot of open beachfront property in the Gaza Strip right now. They would not tolerate that in any way, shape, or form. September 11th in Ozone Park, when there was a group saying, debt to America. The cops said, we're going on break now. And a lot of those people were very sorry they did that. That was, 2001. But again, it's all, I feel like they're just seeing how far can we pull that rubber band back. Now, when that rubber band snaps, which it will, it's going to be very bad for a lot of innocent people, I feel, because they just keep pulling it back as far as they can. And I feel the way they're going to snap it is eventually Democrats are going to get back in the office and they're going to stack the court, and any good Republican who's going to run, he's charged with this. They're going to put him in jail or something like that, so he can't run. He or she, rather. And that's when the rubber band's going to snap, and it's going to be very ugly. I don't want to say revolution, but it's going to be damn close to that, I feel. What do you think, sir?
Well, how do we get out of the problem that we have now?
The problem now, again, is just seeing how far can we poke the bear. Madani, he's just, let me screw you over with a good smile. That's all he does.
That's exactly what he does.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, it's almost, the guy has zero credibility. His wife clearly, it's so clear as day, like, I hate the Jews. It's as simple as that. But yet the guy hit with an egg. I mean, oh my God, let's stop the presses. He got hit with an egg.
Right. While praying.
But again, if anybody's seen that October 7th video, any few minutes of it, and could say, oh, well, that's the way they express themselves, that just makes my blood boil. I mean, that was just insane how just innocent. Well, anyways, I don't have to describe October 7th video to your public, I don't think.
Hey, Benny, thank you for the wonderful call. Folks, I've got to take a break. I've got to do another short segment. When we come back, I'm going to go to my hater number 1, Peter in Harlem. He'll give me the black point of view, Farrakhan himself, right? When we come back, stay with us.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
To the phones we go. Line 5, Peter in Harlem. Peter, how long is it going to be before you hang up this time?
First off, I want to compliment you for being strong enough to take my calls. And secondly, I want to inform your less informed audience members, Ethiopia is a Semitic nation.
No. We're not doing no. We're not doing any history lessons. What's the point you want to make? What's the point you want to make?
Okay, Israel is on the African continent, and I would like to say also...
What's the point? Listen, Peter, do you have a point you want to make? Nice. If not, I got a million calls. I'll go on to the next call.
I want to say something to you, Dominic. You are treading on dangerous ground because you're promoting homosexual rape. You're also promoting
wait a minute.
Okay. You are.
Okay.
You are.
Wait.
You get emotional.
Okay, wait. Say this. First of all, who made you Dr. Phil?
Well, I have to be Dr. Phil.
Who made you Dr. Phil? Every time I talk to you, I hear the police sirens outside your apartment in Harlem. Crime is out of control, and you want to lecture me.
What do you mean? This is New York. There's always police sirens or ambulance signs. Where the
That's
hell
not
did you grow
true.
up? Oh,
That's
I
not
forgot you
true.
grew up in the
Maybe
Bronx.
that's your reality,
You grew
but
up
that's
in
not the same
hood.
reality. Okay, wait a minute. Don't tell me about the hood when I'm from the hood.
No,
I'm
don't
blacker
change
than
the
you could
subject.
ever be.
Don't change. You're an idiot. Don't change the
I'm
subject.
blacker than you
What
could
I'm
ever
saying.
be on your
You're
best
promoting
day.
rape. You are promoting rape when you.
Okay,
the other
do
night,
you have a point you want to
condoned
make before
the
you
rape
meet
of
Mr.
men.
Click? Do you have a point you want to make?
Yeah, I love you, Dominic, even though you're an asshole.
Okay, so what's the point you want to make? Oh, the poor little baby, he can't take it. The poor little baby, he gets upset and he hangs up. I guess the police might be knocking at his door because he doesn't like me to talk about black on black crime. And every time I take his call, except for now, you hear the police siren outside his window to show you how out of control crime is. But he's delusional and he wants to call me up and make me the issue. I'm not the mayor that one man gets hit with an egg while he's praying, a Muslim man, and the mayor issues a statement and then says the NYPD hate crimes unit is investigating while a group of Muslim men are praying outside of a Brooklyn all-Jewish girls' school, getting their rocks off, harassing those young girls. That's not me. Peter, why don't you write the mayor? Write the mayor. Let's go to line 5. Mark in Brooklyn, who says I'm wrong about Mr. 7%. Please, go ahead, Mark.
Yes. Mamdani won with over 50% of the vote.
Okay, now, you don't know what you're talking about. He won with 50% of the vote. You take away Mr. 7%, it would have been anybody's race. Momentum would have pushed Cuomo over the top. What's your next point?
Cuomo lost the primary fair and square.
Okay, we're not. Was I just talking about the primary, or was I talking about the general election?
So why are we blaming Curtis? We should blame
because
Cuomo
he wasn't qualified
to
be mayor. He's a clown. He should have never been in the race. Okay, well, why do you think the president of the United States begged him to drop out? Take me out of it. Why do you think the president of the United States... Wait, Mark, I'm going to give you your say. Mark, listen. Why do you think President Trump ridiculed him about having cats in Gracie Mansion and begged him to get out of the race numerous times? Why is that?
I cannot talk for President Trump. I can talk for New Yorkers that told Cuomo we do not want
you can't talk for President Trump. You can't address the top Republican in the country, but you want to say, okay, so why is Mr. 7%? Why has he had nothing critical to say about Mamdani since the election? Why is that?
I don't know, but I do know.
Oh, you don't know. That says it all, Mark. Mr. 7% has nothing to say critical of the mayor. Come on, man. 2 + 2 = 4.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And folks from around the country, here in New York, we have a big transportation problem starting in just hours. The Long Island Railroad workers were back on the picket line all day Sunday, expected to happen today, Monday. And each side, management and the union, they've been summoned by the National Mediation Board to come together, and the union and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority to try and reach an agreement. This is part of how this issue's been covered here in New York on Fox 5 New York.
The largest and busiest commuter rail system in North America is not running this morning. Workers went on strike at 12:01 this morning, leaving hundreds of thousands of people scrambling for a backup plan. After marathon negotiations failed to produce a deal overnight, train service across the LIRR came to a halt. Union leaders say workers there demanding better pay to keep up with rising costs. The spokesperson for the LIRR bargaining coalition says in the 11th hour of negotiations, management introduced health care contributions for new employees. And that's a proposal the union says had never been previously discussed.
And so each side is pointing the finger at each other. So we're going back to the issue of Mamdani and the Jewish community and anti-Semitism in New York. But first, for a moment, let's focus on Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy losing his primary after President Trump campaigned against him. And of course, it's payback because Cassidy voted to convict Trump in his impeachment trial. This from Fox News.
A GOP senator and vocal Trump critic, Bill Cassidy, shown the door, defeated in Louisiana's Senate primary.
That's right. So now two challengers aligned with the president are moving ahead to a runoff race.
Yeah, Chanley Painter's here. She's got more details on this big shakeup.
Hey, good morning. So Trump-backed Congresswoman Julia Letlow and State Treasurer John Fleming will now face off in a runoff on June 27th. Take a look at this. Incumbent Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy finished third in the Republican primary, ending his bid for re-election. And while Letlow finished first by nearly 20 points, Louisiana election rules call for a runoff between the top two candidates if no candidate wins a majority of the vote. And last night's result marks a major political defeat for Cassidy, who faced backlash from many Republicans after voting to convict President Trump in his second impeachment trial following the January 6th riot at the U.S. Capitol.
So Cassidy voted for Trump's impeachment. Trump endorsed his opponent in this race, and now Cassidy in Louisiana has lost the primary. Going back to Mamdani and all your telephone calls in just a second, but Speaker Mike Johnson on Cassidy's loss.
In Louisiana, had a difficult choice. We had great candidates on the ballot. This morning congratulated my two close friends, Julia Letlow and John Fleming. Julia is like a sister to me and a colleague here, and John was my predecessor in Congress and the first person to endorse me for this race. So great choice there. We'll see how it shakes out. But it's true that President Trump has a huge influence in our state, as he does still across the country. And you see that over and over in all these elections. It's the most powerful endorsement in the history of politics, and it continues to be shown.
One of the headlines this morning said that this win and the ousting of Senator Cassidy shows that there's no room for dissent within the GOP. What do you make of that?
Well, I don't know. You see dissent here every day. I mean, I deal with it all day long with the smallest margin in U.S. history, working through people's philosophical differences and preferences. But, you know, this is a vibrant party. It's a strong party. We're in great position to win the midterms, defy history and win the midterms, and we're excited about that, working every day to make sure that happens so we can keep this agenda going.
So that's Speaker Mike Johnson. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex at Dominic TV. Liz Rosenblatt. Liz says, here's my idea. Have Jewish men pray 3 times a day in front of Mamdani's compound. Let's see what happens next. I love that idea. It's time to fight fire with fire. Mamdani thinks that we're all stupid. So one Muslim gets hit with an egg while praying, it's the end of the world. It's inappropriate, but it's the end of the world. The mayor issues a statement. The hate crimes unit of the NYPD is investigating. Jewish girls have their hair pulled out. Jewish community under attack last week at that protest. These ugly protesters walking through Jewish neighborhoods, terrorizing people. And Mamdani says zip. But one Muslim man gets hit with an egg while praying, and it's the end of the world. I don't think so. 800-848-9222. Line 2, Richard in Queens. Richard, good morning. What's on your mind?
Yeah, it's you guys who elected Mamdani. You had the good idea of having of choosing one guy to go against him. You chose the wrong horse. You chose a
wait. First of all, wait a minute, Richard. You said you guys. I don't know what you mean by you guys.
I'll try again. You guys who got it in your head that you should unite behind one person to oppose Mamdani.
Okay, wait. When you say Richard, you're talking in code language. And I'm only going to try one more time, and then you're going to meet Mr. Click. You said you guys that decided to get behind one cat. What are you talking about?
You decided to get behind Andrew Cuomo, and he lost. But you picked the wrong horse. You picked the least popular horse.
So never mind the fact that the president of the United States, I take it you're a Sliwa supporter.
Yeah, but
of course. You're calling up with this nonsense. Of course, you don't know what you're talking about, and you're drinking the Kool-Aid. He didn't sold all of y'all a bill of goods. He didn't went on with his life, and everybody else is left holding the bag. And you still trying to argue his case that makes absolutely no sense. The president of the United States, I'm going to give you your say if you shut up for a second.
Whatever. Okay.
The president of the United States begged Mr. 7% numerous times to get out of the race and said he couldn't win. Did that or did that not happen?
It doesn't matter.
Did that or did that not happen?
It doesn't matter. If you had a popularity
No. Answer the question. Did the top Republican in the country beg 7% who had zero chance of winning to get out of the race?
So he helped Mamdani win,
too. Will you answer the question? This is the last time I'm going to ask you. If you're not going to answer it, I'm just moving on.
No, I agree with you.
Okay, all right. So we got some progress. All right. So now I'll listen to you. For a second.
Thank you very much.
But I got to tell you this. You have to make sense. If it's not factual and it doesn't make sense, I will intervene.
If you had a simple popularity contest between Curtis Sliwa and Andrew Cuomo, who would win?
Okay, don't ask me some stupid question like that.
No, it's not a stupid question. I'm sorry.
No, it is. Okay, do you have something to say or you just want to waste my time?
No, I just
don't ask me no stupid question like that.
I'm sorry. That's a serious question, and you haven't answered it.
Okay. Why would you ask me a question about a popularity contest when the mayor of New York is not selected that way? That's a waste of my airtime. Do you have something serious to say?
You picked the wrong horse. I'll go back.
No, you picked the wrong horse. You acknowledge that you're a Sliwa supporter. Where is Mr. Sliwa now?
You got the right idea to have one person.
Okay, no. Richard, please answer my question. Where's Mr. Sliwa now?
It doesn't matter.
Why is he the only former candidate that is yet to criticize Mamdani? Why is he, even Jim Walden has raised $1 million to go against Mamdani. Why is Curtis Sliwa the only candidate left that will not criticize Mamdani? Why is that?
So what?
Get off the phone. Get off the phone. Get rid of him. Stop wasting my time. Let's go to Rose, line 3, Long Island. Rose, what's on your mind?
Oh, I can't believe people are still bringing up 7%. The reason why I'm calling
you know what? Rose, they
I
drink
find it
the Kool-Aid.
annoying.
They drink that. They really believe he's conned them so badly that no matter how much you give them rhyme or reason, none of it matters. But go ahead.
It's a moot point with him. And I don't want, they're ridiculous. Dominic, I've been listening to you for a number of years now. And quite frankly, I don't know what religion you are. And that's okay. I know what kind of person you are. I know I know what your values are. But this guy's in your face with his religion. And what I want to say is that I don't think any of them would put on a uniform and defend this country. They're probably all conscientious objectors. So the bottom line is they're here to take and try to change us. And that I find very offensive. And
I agree with you 1,000%. They're here to take. And frankly, they think that we're stupid.
I know.
If you're going to go pray in front of an all-girls Jewish school, you could go across the street. Why are you doing that?
Yep. Just for intimidation purposes. That's all it is. They want to scare the living big Jesus out of them. I mean, it's absolutely a horror. I think the only way to fight this guy and City Hall is, and I don't know what the parameters are, but I think the feds need to take over. I really do. When Morton was in charge, When Morphy was in charge of the DA's office, he didn't care what religion you are. He didn't care if you were a millionaire, billionaire, nickel and dime bagger. You were going to go to jail. If you did a crime in his jurisdiction, you were going down. If you were capo de capo frutti, you were going down. And I respect that, and that's why that man kept getting reelected. So, I don't know. I just find everything so offensive today. And I don't know what's going to take for people just to wake up and smell the roses, because this guy, Mandami, I mean, you know what? I feel like we're being hijacked, not using planes, but using the freedoms that our country provides. Freedom of religion, freedom of...
That's exactly the way that I would put it, Rose. That's exactly the way that I would put it. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. Thank you for the great call, Rose. Let's go to Sandra, line 4, New Jersey. What's on your mind, Sandra?
Oh, good morning, Dominic. I wanted to share something with you. Every Saturday I go to the city and I have lunch at this very fast-paced diner. It's very popular, successful. And my sister always talks to the owner before we're seated. And he said something Saturday, and he said that the people love Mandami. They walk in, they say, "Oh man, he's doing great."
They do love him.
Yeah,
they do love him.
Yeah,
the people that have no knowledge, they're not the brightest bulbs in the bunch.
Right. And then he even said, even the rich people, the wealthy ones, they don't have a problem paying the extra taxes. They don't seem to care. I mean, that one man did care. He's like going to another state, but a lot of the people, he said, they don't even care. So it was very upsetting to learn this, that these people love him. And here we are all. And I love that woman who called earlier from another state. She was fabulous. How we got to get tough and do stuff back a little bit. I think I agree, Nothing bad, but just like little things, just to show him,
Agreed. Nothing bad. Right now, he just thinks that we're just downright stupid. Him, his wife, his daddy. I mean, I cannot believe, Sandra, I cannot believe somebody like him is meaning his politics, that he's the mayor he's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Oh yeah.
And so one man gets hit with an egg while praying and it's the end of the world.
Right.
A Muslim man. I don't think so, Mamdani. That's not a major priority, not in New York City. But what you're doing to the Jewish community is a major priority, but you have peep to say about that. So just like you say it's not important, and thank you for the call, Sandra, in terms of what's going on with the Jewish community, I'm telling you, one Muslim man getting hit with an egg while praying is not a priority, not on my list. No. Like the officer said earlier, desk appearance ticket, work it out in court. No, that's not a hate crime offense. Simply because you say it is. Who are you, Mamdani? You just conned the people with the help of 7%. You two cut a deal and you became the mayor. That's it. End of story. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
It's Dominic Carter.
Thanks, yours too.
What does RAV stand for anyway?
To me, it's the Remarkably Advanced Vehicle.
Really? To me, it's the Runway Approved Vehicle for its amazing style.
What about Remarkably Adaptable Vehicle because of its versatile cargo space?
Or Really Admired Vehicle?
Oh, or Really Awesome Vehicle.
It really is the Recreational Activity Vehicle. The stylish 2026 Toyota RAV4 Limited. What's your RAV4?
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Back to the phones we go. Walter in Baltimore, line 5. Good morning, Walter.
Yes, I have one word for you, Dominic. Vaccine politics. That is why Bill Cassidy lost his primary. It wasn't a conviction from 2021. Everybody forgot about that. This is not Trump getting revenge. This is the energy in the race today. It was about the activism on the vaccine politics, on health,
Okay,
on divorce.
so wait a minute. So Walter, so Trump didn't campaign actively against Cassidy?
Trump did campaign, but what won the race was the activism on behalf of the anti-vaxxers. That's what got people so angry about Cassidy.
Wait, so because I'm short on time, I'm going to bear my I'm going to repeat my question again. Trump didn't actively campaign against him?
I'll repeat my answer again. Trump did campaign against him, but that's not what made him lose.
Dominic is done with you.
Marietta, New York, what's on your mind?
He isn't going to promote division. We are going to promote unification. That's who we are.
Wait. I need you to speak up. Wait. I need you to speak up a little bit. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I want to propose unity by calling upon the mayor, people of all faiths, to have a day of prayer and fasting for unification and peace.
Now, why would Mom Donnie do that? Why would he do that when he's already winning the battle? Why would he do that?
Because we are the people of the city, and we can demand such a day.
Marietta, he's already winning the battle. He's not going to give in to your command. He's going to keep doing what he's doing. There's no reason for him to change. His method is working.
Perhaps, Dominic, you can help us. Maybe you can help us by calling upon, say, the cardinal of the city, the cardinal, and various members of the heads of all the churches, and including the Muslims, that we get together and start praying for peace.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen. They don't have any interest of getting together. That's not going to happen. But thank you. Your heart is in the right place. Your heart is in the right place. Thank you for the call. Let's go on to let's see here. Let's go to John in Yonkers, line 3. John, what's on your mind?
Hi, good morning, Dominic. Your opinion, please. Do you think that Bruce Blakeman has any shot to become the next governor of New York? He
has a hell of a shot. Go ahead.
No, I was going to bring up the aspect of Lee Zeldin. He did run a good campaign, but going, the next few months, like for instance,
I'm short on time, so let me just answer the question. Bruce Blakeman is a better candidate than Zeldin was. Bruce Blakeman can energize the base. All it takes for him to win. Governor Hochul is in trouble. She's on the ropes now, even though she's ahead in the polls. I think she's up 18 points, 19 points, whatever. She's still under 50%, which is the magic number for an incumbent. All Blakeman has to do is energize upstate turnout and somehow get turnout from New York City to be low. Game over, new governor of the state of New York. Go ahead, John, quickly.
No, I was just going to bring up the aspect of the MTA strike. Do you think that could work against her? And your answer?
Against her, yes, if it goes on long, but she's not going to permit it to go on long. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Ken, line 5, Ohio. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Dominic. Yeah, I wanted to ask you to perhaps consider a slight tweak to your vocabulary, and when you describe Mayor Mamdani, to not use the word Muslim, but use the word Islamist.
No, I can't do that, Ken. You have some talk show hosts that would have no problem at all doing that. That's not me. I have to be responsible. I come from a journalism background. I have a master's degree from Syracuse University, journalism. And so I have ethics. And so, I can disagree with the mayor on policy. You can call him whatever you want. But as a talk show host with ethics and responsibility, I cannot do that. I can say maybe some of his policies would tend that way, but to refer to the mayor that way, I just can't do that. Ken, thank you for the great call. To the rest of you folks on hold, I do apologize. The fact of the matter is I am simply out of time. So I will be continuing 3 p.m. later on today, the very latest. We'll see how rush hour goes for Long Island, 300,000 people trying to get to work. Do me a favor, folks, make the best of the day and have a pleasant one. I will see you at 3 p.m.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?